Oh man, I fucking screwed that up. All right, what's going on? This is Dog Meat. I'm back at it again. I know I haven't posted anything in a while. I'm doing a video basically on my impressions of Assassin's Creed. I know I'm late to the party, but for me, what I usually like to do is get a feel for the game, play through it before I, make any determinations and stuff like that. Not that anybody's really gonna look to this channel or anything for any reviews, but I figured, hey, I mean, I'm a small guy and all this other stuff, so I kind of post like what I feel like posting. And one of the things I want to do is like do a video on this game just because it is absolutely amazing. I've been a fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise from the very beginning. I liked the first one, even though like it kind of had its issues, and Altair really wasn't that impressive of a protagonist. But still, it was good. And then what really hooked me was the Assassin's Creed 2. Of course, everybody loves Ezio and stuff. And we got a lot of games out of that. I played Unity for a little bit, but because of the time where it was like glitching and stuff, I just didn't really stay with it. And then, of course, I didn't like the whole multiplayer aspect. I tried doing it once. I had a guy that we were trying to assassinate this one person during a rally or something like that in Unity. Kept inviting him to like a party so that we can coordinate and do it together, but he kept getting us killed, so it was really annoying, and I pretty much abandoned the game after that. The Syndicate I enjoyed because of the whole aspect of being able to play between the brother and the sister, which was kind of cool. But yeah, so it was like really interesting. So this game, I'm not going to give any spoilers to anybody who has not played it. There's probably some people that have been hesitant about it just because. I will say that it is a lot different from the other installments of the franchise. And to be honest, what kind of like turned me off about this game was the combat system. Yeah, I didn't like it because you started off in typical fashion and everything like that, like with every other Assassin's Creed franchise, where basically something happens to the protagonist, they want to seek revenge, and then they kind of stumble upon the Templar conspiracy. Well, this game, like, it'll thrust you like in a quick tutorial as far as like your combat and stuff. And Bayek doesn't feel strong, isn't very strong like when you first start off. And let me like emphasize that. When you first start off, the combat is pretty wonky and it kind of takes a while to get used to. But once you get used to it, it is pretty rewarding, and it is cool just the different options that you have. Oh, I missed that guy. But anyways, what I love about this game is, yeah, like a lot of people compare it to The Witcher and stuff like that. And Witcher 3, I've been playing that. It's like really cool, man. I mean, but that game's been out for a while, and there's just so much to like cover on it. And maybe I'll do a review like one day or whatever. But basically, my impressions of Witcher 3 so far is awesome. Can't believe like it took me so long to get into that game. Now, where the reason why they compare these two sometimes on some of the channels and some of the reviews is because it's kind of similar. But the one thing that I love about the Assassin's Creed versus The Witcher is in Witcher, as you're leveling up, you're stuck with whatever armor you get. So that means, cosmetically, if you wanted to look cool and keep like the original Witcher armor and stuff like that, you're kind of screwed. Because if they give you an ugly ass piece of armor and it just happens to be higher, then you're kind of handicapping yourself if you're not equipping it. So right now, Geralt on my playthrough on Witcher looks pretty fucked up because he's got, a mix and match pieces of armor. This is one of the things I kind of wish that Destiny would have done in some of these other games that have RPG elements. Is right here for Bayek, you have your base kind of stats. Like this is your stuff that you're going to upgrade. That's going to make you more powerful, and that is specific just to Bayek. It doesn't matter like whatever outfit you wear, like cosmetically and stuff like that. So really cool. One of the things I wanted to that I wish that they would have done something similar to this in Destiny, because anybody in Destiny, yeah, this really beautiful, awesome looking like raid armor, but half the stats didn't match up to like what you needed. So, anyways, that's why I kind of enjoy like this as far as like the cosmetic aesthetics of it. The customization like really comes from basically what types of weapons you're going to use and stuff, and how you're going to do your loadout, and of course like your abilities. You want to get all of your abilities, of course, but what I found through the game is there's just some that was more beneficial. And to be honest, like you only get ability as you level up. When you do things like these ancient tablets, which is a kind of really cool like rewarding experience. Like right there's an ancient tablet. It'll give you an ability point every time like you discover one of those. Ancient mechanisms, really cool. I enjoyed that. It kind of plays into the story from like the original like installment, where there was a previous civilization before, and you kind of discover little stuff about them, and it's really cool. This game's like beautiful, as you can see. Like if you take a look at Egypt and stuff like that. And of course, like you have kind of a capture mode where you can like take photos. So there's a photo. But one of the things I was like really blown away with, because like I said, is it doesn't start off the typical. It kind of does start off in a typical Assassin's Creed fashion, but it doesn't get on a new element of your content. And of course, and decide you're going to go in and just straight up beast it into the mission. You're going to be a little more stealthy. Me personally, I love the stealthiness. I love like the selection on the weapons, just to kind of give you guys an idea of like what you're looking at. Now I'm currently like just loving these like dual blades and stuff like that. They're not the most powerful weapon, but it's just kind of cool, like how you when it does like finishers and everything. But like some of the weapons you get from public events. Like there's little public events where you have to fight like some of the Egyptian gods like Anubis and stuff like that. I think Ubisoft is kind of going more towards that route, which it's kind of reminiscent of the Division, like how they have those world events and stuff. One of the things that I do is you always look at any typical like RPG. You want to look at the perks of your weapons, your armor, and all this other stuff, and tailor it towards your play style. So the cool thing is like you could carry like 2 melee weapons, 2 types of bows, and for me personally, like I carry a long distance one, and I carry a short range one that actually has a pretty quick fire rate and stuff like that. And you can see the perk on it like right there, as far as like the health on hit and everything, and of course getting the adrenaline, generation and stuff. And that comes because one of the things with this game is Bayek has like these overpower moves, which is great for like taking out like really high level enemies, of like chipping away at their health and stuff like that. So the game is beautiful. The game, the combat, and everything like that is rewarding. The story is hit or miss. Here, I'm gonna show you this power move. I just took a dude out. Oh, gotta switch freaking things. Oh, I got a freaking axe. Awesome. So let me see where this guy's at. Show you like this bow and arrow real quick. It just charged up my adrenaline to do that power attack again, which is kind of cool and everything. And that's been pretty much my play style. One of the things I like to do is I like to go in there. I like to be more stealth and everything, but at the same time, like when I actually get in the action, I want to get into the action. So there's certain things that you could do. They have like this one kid who's kind of like the black market, merchant and stuff like that. And of course, you could buy a lot of the stuff through like the store, but most of it's like optional. There's only like a few cosmetic things and stuff like that that you can only get through the store. Let's see if I can find the kid, like his icon. So there's this kid that he basically is going to have like these missions pop up. That's him right there. It's the little blue camel on there. So if you go to like any city and all that, then he has like either box you can get You don't have to get it because during the gameplay he will have missions for you to do, and they're timed missions. So that means they're only available for a certain amount of time. But when you do them, you get some pretty cool stuff. I think when I did the first one, I got this. I got this blade called the Shark Fin, and it was pretty tight, man. That was like my go-to for a while. The only thing I don't like about it is it catches stuff on fire, and if you're not careful, you'll catch yourself on fire. So I've been enjoying this one. I believe I got this one off of a phylactery or whatever. It's basically like a bounty hunter that's looking for you. I don't recommend when you're first starting off to go after those dudes, at least until you get like a couple levels higher than them. But as you can see, this one gives me adrenaline when my health is low. So it kind of gives me a chance to do that over a power attack. And then, of course, I have bleeding on hit and poison on hit. Most of the time when I hit guys with this, I can kind of just run around and, watch them kind of, bleed out and stuff like that. But, yeah, so if you guys haven't played this game yet or have been hesitant, I highly recommend it. It's going to be interesting to see, like, with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, like, what direction they go with that. I kind of wish they would have continued, like, at least kind of gave a nod to these guys. But from what I'm hearing from, E3 and all that other stuff, it's going to actually happen before the events of this game, which that doesn't make any sense because this was supposed to be the Origins game, the whole start of the Creed and stuff. When you play this game, like, the story itself isn't that great, but there are some moments in there that are just, awesome and stuff like that. I'm about to check out this Hidden Ones DLC, and I'll have to get back to you guys and let you know how that is. But anyways, this is Dogmeat, and I am out.